guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So as part of this series we are creating a simple Spring Boot type application, right, in which we are using Spring Boot as our backend and React as our frontend. So in the first two lectures, right, I have covered the Spring Boot code, okay, that we need to use for this application. So after this lecture 2, I'm not modifying any code in our next lectures, right? I am simply writing the front end part. Okay, so in the lecture number 3, right, I have covered how to get the list of employees using our front end part, and in the lecture number 4 I have covered how we are going to create the employee using our front end and send the data to our backend, okay, to our DB, right? So now as part of our this lecture, we are going to add two more functionalities, that is nothing but one update and one delete, right? So here let's see what we are going to do as part of this lecture today. So right now there is no employee in the list, right? So first let me create one employee. Okay, so let me just name this employee as coder, and here give the last name as developer, and the email ID as I am coder developer @gmail.com. Okay, now as soon as click on this create new employee, you will see this message, employee created successfully. Okay, and when I go to this employee list, you will see this employee, right? Now as part of this lecture we are going to add two new buttons, one is update employee and one is delete employee in our front end. Okay, so when I click on this update employee, so just like this one pop-up will appear, right, one model view. Okay, so here I can just modify, let's say I modified this email to I am coder developer 2. Okay, and let's suppose I give the name as developer 2 here. Okay, now as soon as I click on this update, so you see that the last name and the email is updated. Okay, so this is one functionality that we are going to do as part of this lecture, and the next functionality is delete employee. So as soon as I click on this delete employee button, you will see this message, okay, are you sure you want to delete this employee? So as soon as you click on this okay, so you will see this message, employee deleted successfully. Okay, click on okay. So now there are no employees. Okay, so this is what we are going to do as part of our this lecture. Okay, so there may be some issues with the audio. Okay, so I suggest you guys to use earphones, okay, for better audio. So now let's get started with our today's lecture. Okay, so in this lecture we are going to see delete and update functionality. Okay, so this is what we did till now, right? So now see, there is no uh, delete button and update button, okay, here in the my list of employees. So now let's add that stuff. Okay, so just go to your front end code. Okay, so this is my employee list.jsx page. Okay, so here we are seeing the list of employees, right? So here if I go here and add one more employee, so let's say developer coder, and here I write I am coder developer @gmail.com and click on create new employee and go here. So you see there are total two employees are coming. Okay, so now I want to add one update and delete button in both of these employees, right? So if I click on any particular update, I will just update the details of that particular employee, right? So this is what I need to do, right? So now just go to your employee list.jsx page. Okay, and here after this employee email, okay, so here this is where my div tag ends, right? So here I'm just going to add the two remaining buttons. Okay, so let's try to place them. So let me try it here only. Okay, so here write div and give the class name. Okay, so here just give the class name as button container, and you can give a style if you want. So here just write style, and inside this style just give whatever the values that you want to give. So here I'm just going to say that display
flex. Okay, so just write flex here, so you can refer a bootstrap, okay, for all the styling. And here let's say I want to give the gap as 10 pixel, okay, so gap, and here just give the value as 10 pixel, okay, px. Done. Now after that, just close this div, okay, here. And now inside this, let's create the buttons, okay, that I need. So here write button, okay, and after that just give the class name as this is for update functionality, so let me just give as button as primary, okay, button, button primary, okay. So blue color button will appear, okay, so for update. And on click what will happen, so here write on click. So on click I will just write here, I'm going to pass that particular employee ID, okay, so employee ID coming from here, okay, for that particular button. Okay, if I click on that particular update button, okay, let's say update button is right here, okay, here somewhere here. So if I click on that update button, so I will get the employee ID for this one. If I click the update button here, okay, in this card, if it's there, then I will get the ID from here, okay. So this is what I'm doing here. So on click, and here after this just pass update employee, okay, update employee. And in this I'm just going to pass the my ID, okay, employee dot ID, okay. So I will define this update employee function later, okay. This is done, okay. And here once this is done, so here we are just calling the update employee with the ID, okay. So just close it. After this just close this, and inside this just write update button, okay. So right now we haven't defined this, okay, so we will define that. Done, okay. So now after that create one more button, so press enter here and write, now I need the button for delete functionality, okay. So same way write button and class name, okay. So I need a red color button, so for that I'm just going to write danger, okay, button, and here I'm going to write danger, okay. So on click what will happen, on click I want to call delete employee function, okay. So inside this just like update, I'm just going to call the delete employee. I will define this method later on, delete employee. And here inside this also I'm going to pass the employee ID now, employee dot id, okay. This is done. Now after this just close this, okay, and here just name as it as delete employee, okay. So let's name the button as delete employee, okay. This is done. Save it, okay. So right now I think we will get error, right, because we haven't defined this update employee and delete employee, okay. So this is done. That's it that you have to need to do here in this part. So now let's define this, okay, update employee and delete employee. First let's write the functionality for this delete employee. So let me do one thing here. Okay, so I just commented out this part, later on I will uncomment it. And here let's define the logic for delete employee, okay. So delete employee logic we are going to write here. So same now, const name of your function is what, delete employee, okay. In this delete employee I am passing what, I am passing the ID, right. So here just write employee this is what I need to pass now. So in the, only then I will come to know that which employee I want to delete. Okay, and now let's define what we need to do inside this. Okay, so here first I will show one message, okay, whether you seriously want to delete this employee. Okay, so here let's do one thing, const confirmed, let's name it as confirmed, and here write window dot confirm. Okay, so here one pop-up will come, and inside this I will ask, uh, are you sure you want to delete this employee? Are you sure you want to delete this employee? Okay, I will ask this question, right? Then if this is true, okay, so if confirmed is true, right, if it's confirmed, then I after that I will just do these things in that my try block. Okay, so in my try block I'm just going to call the API, okay, which is used for delete employee. Okay, so here in the my postman, if I go here, go to delete. Okay, so here in the spring boot you guys know now, this is my delete mapping. Okay, so here I need to just pass the ID, okay, employee ID, then where in which API. So this is my API, right? API slash employees, and after that slash ID I need to pass. Okay, so here if I just go to this postman, and here the ID. Okay, first let me see how many employees are there. So get, I do send, and see there are total two IDs right now. I want to delete this ID one. Okay, so here if I write forward slash one, and here change it to delete, and click on send button. Okay, so 200. Okay, so employee record successfully deleted. Okay, now again if I go to this get and see the list of employees. Okay, so here let's see what I will get. So I there is only just single employee. So let's do the same thing in our front end. Okay, so how we are going to write this API? So here same thing now, await access, okay, dot delete. This time I'm going to delete, okay, and then I have to provide the API. Okay, so let's write that. Okay, await, and here access dot delete, and inside this I need to pass the details, okay, of my API. So API forward slash employee, and after that I have to pass the employee ID. Okay, so for that I need to write it like this dollar, and inside this dollar I'm just going to specify employee ID. Okay, so this is what's happening here. Okay, so I have to pass one ID. Okay, so now this is done. Okay, so after this, once we pass this, okay, then I'm just going to give one alert that employee deleted successfully. Okay, so alert, and inside this alert just give the message now, employee deleted successfully. Okay, and done. Okay, and then just fetch the employees. Okay, so here I'm just going to call fetch employees, and simply means I'm just refresh the employee list after deletion. Okay, this is done. This is a fetch employees. Okay, so this is where I define the fetch employees, right? So here I'm just getting the list now, so I'm just going to get the list again once this is done. That's it. Now in the catch block what will happen? So let's see. In the catch block, if there is an error, any error, okay, so let's say error, so I'm just going to give the message in console, right? So console dot error, error deleting employee, but usually we will not get, I don't think we will get this. Okay, error deleting employee. From front end we will not get issue, but we will get this issue when we are going to do this using postman. Okay, so in front end you will get the button inside the employee ID only, delete button. But here in the Postman, if I just, right now there is no employee with ID 1, right? And if I just go here employees and here give 1 again, send, then I will get the error, okay, not found. Okay, but in the front end, you know that our delete button will be inside that employee ID only. Okay, so then we will not get this error. Okay, so but still let me define that. Okay, this is done, right? So here we are going to get this error, and here let's give one alert message, and here let me define as failed to delete employee, failed to delete employee. Done. That's it. Here my post ends. Let's close it. Okay, so here I am getting this error. Did you mean to mark this function as async? Quick fix async. Okay, so this is done. Okay, we have added a sync. Now let me just save it. So I have saved it. Let me go here. So now you are able to see this delete employee button, okay, in red color. So that is why we use button danger, right? So now let's see if this button is working or not. So if I click on this delete employee, you will see this pop up. Are you sure you want to delete this employee? Click on OK. So okay, so we are getting some issues, okay, with our API. So it is saying fail to delete employee. Click on OK. So let's fix the issues. So here API employee ID. Okay, first thing, I don't need to give here single quotes. I need to give it like this, okay, because I'm passing one literal value, right? So I need to pass it like this. And one more issue, I think, what is my API? So here see API name is API employees, okay. So let me just verify it here in the backend. API employees forward slash ID, okay. I need to pass employees. Okay, so now let's fix that as well. Now let's save it and let's see if it's working now or not. So click on this delete employee button. Are you sure you want to delete this employee? Okay. So now you will see this message, employee deleted successfully. Okay. After this message, what is happening? After this message, we are refreshing. We are calling this fetch employees again. Okay. So let's do that. Let's click on OK here. So now it's refreshed automatically, right? So now our delete button is functioning properly, right? So that's it. That's for delete button, right? So now let's write the code for this functionality, update employee. Okay, so let me just uncomment this line, uncomment it manually. Okay, so here just uncomment this part. Okay, done. So right now you will see this issue, right? Because this update employee is not defined, right? So now let's write the code for this one. Same. So first let me do one thing here. Let me create a new file, employee update employee dot. Okay, let's name it as update employee dot jsx. Okay, so here REFC, it is going to create a React arrow function export component. Enter. Done. Right now let's do one thing here in my employee list.jsx page. So first let's import this page, okay, new page that we have created. So here I'm just going to write in line number 3, I'm going to write import update employee from, okay, here. That's it. And now for update functionality, I'm just going to update few more. Here I have to define few more use states. Okay, so show model. First I need to pop up one model, right? A model view. Okay, so initially its value is going to be false. So here const, okay, and in this pass show model, and here function set show, let's give it like this now, s capital S H O then capital M. Okay, so we are using this same way of writing everywhere, right? So it is easy to understand things. Okay, use state, and initially by default give the state as false. Okay, this is a state to control the model visibility. Okay, so initial state is false. Done. And here again, 1 second, space. Okay, now again const, and here selected employee ID. Okay, so here I'm just going to write one state for selected employee ID. Okay, so here const inside this, just write selected employee ID, and here write set selected employee ID, and initial state I'm just going to define it as null. Okay, I'm not going to pass, initial state is null. Okay, this is done. Okay, so these two things I need to add in my employee list.jsx. Okay, and then after that, this there is no change in this fetch employees from API. Okay, keep it as it is. And here I'm just going to write my update employee logic. Update employee logic. So here write const of update employee. Okay, so here I'm just going to write const update employee, and here also I need to pass the ID, right? So here write employee ID. Okay, and for that particular employee ID I need to do the update now. So here after this, inside this, now I have to change. Okay, so here I have to set the selected employee ID. So here I'm just going to go update this function. Okay, so here I'm just going to write set selected employee ID. Okay, and in this I'm just going to pass the employee ID. Okay, so I am passing this in the selected employee ID. Okay, this function is going to pass this value. This function is going to update the state of this value, or this variable selected employee ID, right, to this employee ID. That's a simple meaning. Okay, so set the selected employee ID. This is done, and we have to show the model as well. Okay, one pop-up will come now, one model view. So this set show model will be changed to true from false. Okay, so here let's do that. Set where is this set show model, and here uh, write it true. Okay, this is done. So this is going to show the model. Okay, done. Now after this, uh, okay, here I am just going to delete, right, delete the employee logic. Then we are using this use effect, okay, to call this fetch API. And here let's write one more const. Okay, so const, and here handle. Here let's write it like this. I haven't written it right. So here write const handle model close. Okay, when I am just going to close that model. Okay, handle model close. So in that case what will happen? So here nothing, just I need to update the few things, right? Here I have to set the show model to false. Again this will change back to false. Okay, and I have to set the selected employee ID. Again I'm going to pass, give it the initial state null. That's it. So here what I'm doing, I'm just closing the model, and I'm creating the selected employee ID. That's it. Okay, so this is done. Here let's save it, and here anything else we need to do? Yes, so show model. Okay, so when my show model is going to be true. Okay, so let's render the update employee model. Okay, so I am doing the rendering. Let's do it here. Okay, so here I'm just going to do the, okay, here inside this I'm just going to write few things. What I'm going to do, delete. Okay, So here I'm just going to do the render. Let me add this comment. Okay, render the update employee model. Update employee model. Okay, so here inside this, uh, first thing, if my show model value is true, okay, if it is true, then after that what I'm going to do, let's do that. Okay, so here inside this, enter, and here I'm just going to uh, update, right, update employee, and in this update employee, okay, I am passing, but I am passing my employee ID now. So here I am just going to write update employee ID is equal to employee ID. Okay, so it is coming from this now. Uh, Employee ID is coming from this set selected employee ID. Okay, so this values will be updated now by this set selected employee ID function. So here I have to write employee ID is equal to selected employee ID, right? We have to pass the selected employee ID, then we have to close the handle. Okay, after passing this on close, okay, on close, what will happen? On close is equal to, here I need to write handle model close. Okay, handle model close, and okay, there is one close button, and there will be one update button as well there. Okay, on update. Also on update, what will happen? I'm just going to fetch the employees. Okay, new list now, whatever the refreshed list. Okay, so I'm just going to call this function fetch employees. So here we are passing the selected employee ID. This is for handle model close, and this is for refresh the employee list after update. Okay, that's it. So we are done here, and then after that, once this is done, let's close it. Okay, done, right? So let's save it. Now see what is there in my page. So right now there is no employee, so let's create one employee. Let me write the coder developer, and here let me write the email as I am coder developer @gmail.com. Create new employee, employee create successfully, employee list. So see, two buttons are there. Delete employee is going to just simply delete. Okay, and update button. So when I click on update button, right now there is nothing. This message is coming only, right? Why this message is coming? Because here this is written, right? So let me just remove it. Okay, we need to update it. Now what will happen after clicking this update employee? I have to write this here. Okay, so I think we are done with the employee list .jsx page. Okay, so now let's write the code in update employee.jsx. Okay, so here in my update employee.jsx, uh, first let's import access library. Okay, I'm going to call the API, okay, to update. Okay, so here if you see in my backend, this is the mapping, okay, which is used to update the employee. So in this I am passing what employee ID I am passing, and I am also giving the details of the employee. Okay, the details which are coming from employee DTO. Okay, from the client, which the details which are coming from the client. Okay, so you guys need to watch lecture 1 and lecture 2 to understand the backend. Okay, so now here, uh, just for using this access library, I have to import this. Okay, and now after that, const update employee, and here I need to pass. Okay, so what are the different things that I need to pass here? So in my const update employee ID I'm passing. Okay, I need to pass this now, employee ID I'm to pass. I have to pass this on close, I have to pass on update. Okay, all these things. So here let me write employee ID, and here I have to write on close, and here I have to write on update. Done. And now inside this, what I need to do? So here we need to use state now. So can I do one thing here? For create employee, let's copy whatever we can. Okay, so here what I'm just doing here, I'm writing it like this: employee set type, this one I'm doing, and const loading I'm doing here. Okay, so we have created this employee list, we have did right here what I'm doing. So here let's use this employee list. Okay, so why I'm using this, so let's see. So go to this update employee page, let's paste it here. So here I'm pasted const employee, and here set employee. Okay, so for particular employee now, so I need to update one employee, I'm not getting the list of employees, so let's write it like this: employee set employee, and initial state here, I'm just going to pass null. Okay, I don't know which employee I need to update. Then const loading set loading, and use state true, so let's leave it as it is. Then const error set error, use state is equal to null. Okay, done. Now write the code for use effect. Okay, so use effect, and here inside this let's pass this. Okay, use effect here. Okay, inside this I'm going to fetch the employee. Okay, const, can I use simply use this const fetch employee async. Okay, this is what I'm set loading, I'm setting it to true, then the response I'm getting, and I need the response for just a particular employee. Okay, not for all. So here I can use it, so let's make the use of this one now. Why we need to waste so much time here writing this? Okay, so here inside is just copy paste this part: const fetch employee async, set loading is true, and try const response is equal to await access dot get. And here I need to give it like this. Okay, why I need to give it like this, because I am passing the particular employee ID now, so I am using this dollar symbol. Simply, if you want to understand it like this. Okay, and then after that just write dollar symbol, is dollar symbol, and here just pass employee ID. Okay, done. This is done. Okay, then after that we are setting the employee now, I'm using employee now. Set employee to response dot data, and catching error set error, I am stating it error fetching employee data, and in the finally I'm just updating the state of set loading to false. Okay, this is done. Now once this is done, okay, fetch employee. Okay, let me name it as fetch employee. Okay, for a particular employee. Okay, since this is a update employee method, so for a particular employee we need the details. Okay, this is done. Then here this ends, set loading I set to false. Okay, this is done, this is done. Then here let me write if I get the value of employee ID. Okay, if employee ID, then I'm just going to call this fetch employee. That's it. Okay, this is done, right? So this is done. Then after that here this ends, and here just pass the employee ID. Okay, here write employee ID and do this semicolon. That's it. Okay, this is done. Okay, so now after that we need to write the const handle change. Okay, const handle change, and here let's pass some e value. Okay, and for this particular employee, okay, so let's say this e is nothing but a particular employee. So for this employee, so in my const I'm passing, but I'm passing the one name and a value, right? So here let's say this is nothing but my e dot target. Okay, then we have to just set employee. Okay, and in this set employee prib. Okay, here I just need to write it like this. Okay, prib is equal to, and here inside this dot priv, and after that we have to just pass the name and value. Okay, name, and here pass the value. That's it. Okay, so we did the similar thing in this employee list. Somewhere we did. Okay, in this or create employees, I think we did it in create employees. Right, const handle input changes. Okay, on changing the input, okay, what will happen, input changes, right? So this is what we need to do here. Okay, and that's it. Okay, here it ends. Then after that, on handle submit, what will happen? Okay, so here write const handle submit, and here write a sync, okay, for that particular employee. Okay, so for this what we need to do, okay, inside this I need to write, so first of all, e dot prevent default, same thing that we did previously, right? E dot prevent default, and then after that in that try block what we need to do, okay, so in the try block, await access dot put. Okay, now put API put we need to use, okay, because here in the put mapping, if I go to my backend now, so this is my put mapping. Okay, so in this put mapping simply means update. Okay, so now we need to just update the particular employee. Okay, so here access dot put, and here I need to pass the API. Okay, so just copy this now, copy this completely, just pass it. Okay, so here go to this await access dot put, and inside this paste this value. Okay, API employee and employee ID, and also in put, if you see in my backend, okay, I was passing ID, and also I'm passing one more request body, complete details of that particular employee, right? So here I need to do the same thing, because this access dot put, okay, this API is expecting total two parameters, right? So here I need to write employee. Okay, this is done. Now inside this I am just going to call the on update function to refresh the employee list, and after that I'm just going to close the model. Okay, so here write on update, call this, and call on close as well, it will close the model. Okay, and when there is some error, then what we need to do, so simple, for that we are using catch block, right? Here write error, and inside this just give one message in the console dot error, and here just write error updating employee details, error updating employee, and after that just we will state the error. Okay, what the error? Okay, so here write error. Okay, this is done. Then after that, alert, let's give an alert as well. So in the alert I will just say failed to update employee. Okay, and let's close it. That's it. Okay, this is done. So handle submit is done, and if loading and if error, okay, then in that case what we need to do, so can I copy this from here? I think somewhere I use this loading and error in employee list, I use this, I think. hmm. Let's copy this. Okay, copy this, go to the update employee.jsx, paste it here. So if loading, then we are just returning this. Okay, returning div class name I'm giving it. Okay, here loading message will display, and if there is error, then here I will just print the error. Okay, so this is what's coming now, set loading. Okay, so if here I will get this error message. Okay, if there is some error fetching the data, employee data. Okay, this is what I will get, right? Okay, so this is the message, right, that I will get. Okay, so this is done. If loading and if error, then after that let's write the return. Okay, what we need to return here, return. Okay, inside this we need to write a lot of code, right? So here first I'm going to give the model view, right? I have to use that. So here if you can just get, okay, I need to use something similar to this one. Okay, model, model dialog, model content, model header, model title. Okay, so instead of class I need to write class name. Okay, in my React. So you can go over the bootstrap library, okay, in order to know about these class names and all that stuff. Okay, so div, and here I'm just going to write, define my class name as model, and here I am just going to write model fade show. Okay, and after that I'm just going to define, give the style as well. Let's give the style. So here display, I am going to say block. Okay, and after that background, can I give? Okay, let's try to give that. Okay, so here let's write background, and in the background just pass this RGBA, and here inside this write 000 0.5. Okay, you can go over all these styling things on bootstrap library. Okay, you will find it on Google as well. And here let's give the tab index as -1. Okay, so I'm just going to give it like this, -1. And role, let's give it a dialog. Okay, role, and here inside this just pass dialog. Okay, and then after that just close it. Okay, now inside this what you need to do, so here again write one div tag. Okay, and here we need to give the model dialog. Okay, so here class name model dialog, and after that the give a role as document. Okay, so here div class name model dialog, and after that role is equal to, here give document. Okay, then after that model content we need, right? Model content we need, then we need model header, model title we need. Okay, and inside that I will just create one button, simple. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so here div class name, and here write model content. Okay, and after that again use one div and give class name as model header, and that's it. And now give the, after this model header give h5, and class name, here give model title. Okay, and after this let's give the name as update employee. Okay, this is what we are doing, right? So this is done. Then after this h5 tag just create one button. Okay, so button, right, type, and here write button, and class name, here you can give class name as close. Okay, so if you want to close it. Okay, so on click what will happen, it will close. On click, here right, on close. I have created that now on close. Okay, and then after that here, okay, this is done. Then you can give the this area label as close, copy it, paste it. Okay, area label is called close, and then close this tag. Okay, done. Then after this just write span. Okay, and inside this span you can pass here area hidden as true, right? And this, so you can completely copy this now, copy this and paste it here, span. Okay, so here let me just pass it here, span area hidden is equal to true and times, right? This is done. Okay, so button is closing here, div is closing here. Then after that let's create the form. And what action on here I will perform on submit. What will happen on submit? I will just call this handle submit. Okay, this is done. Then after that let's create one div and give class name as model body. Okay, and here again use div. Okay, use div, and here give class name as form group. Okay, form group. This is done. Okay, and then okay, so this is done, form group. And here give label first name. Okay, so we need to write the first name. Okay, and after this label we need to give the input, right? Input, and here input type, let's give the type as text. Okay, and give the class name as form control, right? And after that give the name as first name, first name, and then give the value as employee dot first name dot first name. Okay, and after this value we need to give on change. What will happen on change it? Okay, here let's write handle change, and after that just make it as a required here, right? Required. Okay, so same thing we did in our create employee, right? Required, just close this. Okay, and then close my div tag. Okay, this is done. Okay, so this is done, right? Right, now after that, now we need to do the same thing for last name and the email. Okay, so let me just copy it two more times, right? 2 and 3. Okay, so here I need to give last name. Okay, everything else will be some same, I think. Okay, here I need to give last name, and here after that in the employee value I need to give here last name, and everything else will be same, last name. Okay, this is done. Okay, after that we are just changing the, okay, that's it. Now here this is my email now, so here I need to write email. Okay, and here type, let's give it email only, because this is what we are giving, okay, in our create employee. And here form control, here name you can specify it as email only. email, and the value here you need to write employee dot email. Okay, this is done. That's it. That's it. Okay, so this is done here. This is where my div tag ends. This is where my this div tag ends. Okay, and just before this form is ending here now, just before this, here I need to create one more buttons, right? So here I'm just going to write div class name, and here modal footer, let's say it as modal footer. This is there in this example, modal footer. Yes, so this is what I need to do. Okay, so we have given our modal body view here, then we need to write modal footer, right? So modal footer. Okay, and here just close this. Okay, inside this I have to give the buttons. Okay, so button type, need to give the type. Here I need to write button, and class name, here I, let's give button secondary. Okay, this is done. And on click but action will be performed. On click, uh, on close. Okay, submit. So I'm just closing it now. So close, on close. Okay, and here after this just write close. This is for close button name. This is good. Okay, this is done, right? This is one button, and one more button I need to create. Button type is equal to submit this time. Okay, if I want to submit, then class name, here write button, you can give primary, let's give primary then. Okay, button primary, and after that class name. Okay, what will happen? So here we are just going to update submit. Now this is submit. Okay, automatically quitting. So here let's name it as update. That's it. That's it. Now let's save it and see if there are any code issues. So we are getting something here. Use state null we are getting. Okay, so right now if you see my React app, okay, so this is what's coming here. Okay, so use state is not defined. So let's do that now. So here it should come automatically. Okay, so here I'm just going to write use state, and here keep just comma. Done, save it. Now any other issues? Okay, so let's see if there are issues. Close this, I don't need this right now. Okay, so now okay, I want to delete this employee, so this is going to delete. Okay, delete successfully, gone. Create employee. So here let me send it some data. Okay, developer coder. So here I am coder developer @gmail.com. Create new employee. Okay, employee created. Go to employee list, so I'm able to see this now. Update employee. So this is how it is coming right now. So here instead of developer, let's say I give coder as first name and developer as second name, and same email. Update. So here coder is coming first, developer is coming after that, and I'm getting this I am coder developer. Okay, so I hope that you guys are able to understand today's lecture, right? So you can give a little bit different styling. Okay, so if you want you can give something else. Okay, so here background you can give some other background. Okay, all that stuff you can do. Okay, so I hope that you guys are able to understand this employee management system application as part of this series. Okay, so in the first video, in the first two lectures, okay, we completed our Spring Boot application code, right? Backend code. So here if you go to this employee controller, you see that we have created all the post mapping, get mapping, okay, and get mapping by ID, put mapping, delete mapping, okay, insert, update, all the CRUD operation, right? Create, read, update, delete, okay, all that stuff we did. How we have created one table employee, okay. So this is what we did. Then after that, in the other lectures, okay, so we have created the creating employee page, employee list page, update employee page, okay, and we understand about these routers, okay, how we are just going to route to employee list page, create employee page, okay, all that stuff we did, okay. So I hope that you guys are able to understand this employee management system application, and this video and this series, I will say, is helpful for you guys for Spring Boot and React learning purpose, okay. So now if you guys want any other development type applications, okay, related to Spring Boot and React, then please let me know in the comment section. Meet you guys next time. Thank you. Bye bye.